the Giants' 38-35 win over the Bucs on Sunday. No one happier than this fan who got to take home an OBJ souvenir.
There were 5 kids around that guy that I think Odell was tossing the ball to, and my man just snatched it.
Look at that guy. He was happier than any of those kids.
That's the way I was after the game of the Sixers, man, getting Jimmy Butler's shoes. Man, the people was like, you going to get it some kids? Man, get off of me. I'm getting ready to play in these J's, man. Take out his orthotics and everything. I was at the Sixers game.
And has no shame. Had you met Jimmy Butler before?
Yes.
Okay, my apologies.
Yeah, I sat in his suite for the Super Bowl. He was up there drinking some expensive wine and everything. Yeah, Nick, you think I just was born? This ain't my first show.
No,
you think I just got to the rodeo?
I understand.
I done rode some horses in this show and everything. Jimmy Butler's like, yo, bruh, I said, let me get them shoes. He was like, of course, legend. Of course, whatever else you need gear. That's what he said. What do you want me to do, bro? I mean, I've been places before in life. I just didn't get here. Coach, what do you want me to do? I was just like that guy right there. Let me get them J's. These kids, they got a long life to live. Back off. Get back off of me.
That little boy over to the left there, he's traumatized.
Yes,
Look
exactly.
He just can't figure out how that dude snatched it.
Snatched the ball.
If you look closely, you can figure it out. Back to Big Ben and the Steelers.
Whoa.
Trying to make it 6 wins in a row, taking on the team that, for whatever reason, has their number in the Jaguars. Big Ben threw 3 picks, including that one in the end zone.
Just like Jimmy.
To Jalen Ramsey. See, Steelers down 16-0. Then the comeback. Here we go. Down 3. Less than a minute to go. Roethlisberger connects with Antonio Brown, who takes it down to the 2. 8 seconds left. Big Ben runs it in for the touchdown. Steelers go on to win. Jags have now lost 6 in a row. 20-16 was your final. Here's Ben Roethlisberger after the game on the comeback.
We just never quit, and that's what's kind of special about this group is we're going to fight to the end, and we literally fought to the end.
Against a defense that's they make their feelings known. How did it feel for you to get the last laugh in this case?
Well, they're a really good defense. Like I said, they like to talk a lot before the game, during the game, but I'm carrying the game ball home.
Not as much after the game, before and during especially. Coach, what did the Steelers show you in their win yesterday?
To me, they've been consistent throughout the year, and they've been consistent over the years, or Ben has, where he can go out and throw 3 interceptions, but he's resilient, and they're resilient. And whenever you start to rule the Steelers out, whenever you think that they're finally out of it or they're buried, they come back and they show you that they can win.
Coach, I don't find many people, and I don't mean to cut you off, I don't find many people who analyze this game on a regular basis, though, through the years, that is consistent with the Pittsburgh Steelers like you. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though they're not consistent, and they got a different function, and you've taught us different families got a different vibe, and they got different rules that apply to them of how they're going to move forward. And you've made me clear, and I've been a Steelers fan because I'm about organizations, and I'm about head coaches and empowering them. And that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers do as well as anyone. But, man, you've taught me so much about Pittsburgh and how they do business. And, man, even when I tend to, man, I'm getting ready to lose faith in Pittsburgh, you're like, this is how they do things. And why is that?
Because playing against them for as long as we did, and as many times either playing against Ben directly or dealing with the organization as a whole, I've seen it over and over again where you think, okay, that now it's a down year. Now Ben's really reached a point where he's not going to be able to come back. But his resilience, it rolls off his back, and he goes out the next drive, and he plays that drive like every other drive didn't exist. And that is a tremendous trait for anybody to have. But for your quarterback to have, it's fantastic. And everybody else around it knows. So you're sitting on that sideline, all right, Ben threw 3 picks. All right, now we'll go win the game. And I think there's that mentality there.
And I think that filters down from the quarterback. I also think it filters down from the coach. And last week we talked a lot about Doug Peterson's press conferences and how they've been this message and this message, and that he's kind of learning on the fly. Other than Belichick, who's consistent in the press conference in a very droll, monotonous way, nobody is as consistent with their facial expression, their tone of voice, their message, win or lose in the press conference as Mike Tomlin. Like, he is very clear. He's always going to use one of his lines of, nice to escape here with the win in the National Football. Like, you know what you're going to get from him, and his players know that. And that's one of the reasons why you had said previously, the Steelers were a different team away from Heinz Field. For the last couple years, they're now 14-1-1 in their last 16 road games. The tie and the loss both in overtime, one to the Bears and the one Browns earlier. Like, to have that type of success on the road, given all the drama surrounding the team, be it player suspensions, holdouts, things like that, that is a testament to Mike Tomlin.
And no coach lost a player, a top-flight all-pro player like Pittsburgh lost this week. This week. Like, no, the coaches even, you know how humiliating that must be for Mike Tomlin? One of the best coaches that's ever coached this game as an African-American. He's texting one of his star players. He's trying to call him, and the player's not responding? Like, not even giving them no feedback? And then he's got to go to the media and be like, you know something, we getting ready to move on. The Pittsburgh Steelers weren't a better team this week after L. Bell.
Right.
No, there was no team that faced it. And I would say even what Washington faced yesterday, losing their quarterback as far as, Alex Smith. Like, that's a bad injury. That's what Pittsburgh went through this week. And that's what Mike Tomlin has dealt with year after year. How do I get through some type of adversity? How do I get through that? And he had a very, very tough week. And he stood up there like an NFL head coach is supposed to do and had very good talking, consistent message points for his team and for his fan base.
All right, so as good as the Steelers have been, it makes what happened yesterday all the more confusing. If there was ever a team in the last 2 years that have had the Steelers number, it's got to be the Jaguars, who are not playing good football, but somehow all except for the last 5 minutes yesterday own the Steelers and last year as well.
I think it speaks to the importance of Antonio Brown and the Steelers offense, because clearly nobody gives him fits the way Jalen does. Jalen is a tremendous football player. I know we talk about the comments, and right now he's having to eat a lot of those comments, and if the trade rumors are true, he might have to go play on a team with one of the quarterbacks he trashed, because the odds are, I mean, most of the quarterbacks in the league are on that list.
One that he did trash beat him yesterday.
Absolutely. But and Jalen got beat on a couple plays late. But I think that what they are able to do in the secondary against the Steelers, that's been the secret sauce to Jacksonville. But the flip side of that is Jacksonville is so terrified in big games of Blake Bortles killing them that in the second, once they got up 16-0, 4 straight 3-and-outs, first down on every single drive, a run up the middle. Second down on 3 of the 4 drives, a run up the middle. They punted every single time. They did not want to let Bortles make a mistake, and it gave the Steelers too many extra chances.
Well, but look, in fairness to them, though, they ran the ball, 9 times in a row to start the game. They were running the ball very effectively.
Only 2 things happened. You're right, Coach. Keep going.
And they were playing really good defense. They had intercepted Ben 3 times. So for them,
and they only had a 16-point lead.
Yeah, but from a conservative standpoint, you could see why they would think, okay, if we run the ball, which we've done well the entire game, and we play good defense, we're going to get out of this okay. No, that's why instead of putting it in Bortles' hands and potentially make a mistake to lose the game, they wanted to make the Steelers beat them. And unfortunately, the Steelers were able to.
And there was only 2 things that Pittsburgh had to make the adjustments to stop. Stop them on the first down run and stop them from the checkdowns to the running back. That's all they had to take away from them. So it's easy when we've seen it to place the blame on Jacksonville. Oh, they got conservative. There was only 2 things they were doing. Run the ball on first down, and the quarterback was dropping back, looking way down the field, and checking it down to the running back, and the running back was making the linebackers miss. So it wasn't as if they had to make wholesale changes to be able to slow down this offense that's not very, very explosive.
And they didn't really get conservative. They were conservative from the very start. They just didn't adjust.
Yeah, this wasn't a New England game.
Yeah, no.
All right, Coach, we'll see you a little bit later on. Coming up, talk some basketball. LeBron put on a show in Miami. That's next. First things first.